Ahri, the nine-tailed fox, is a captivating force in League of Legends. This magical being can charm her way into or out of any fight. Rumors swirl about her past, but one thing's clear. Ahri isn't just a pretty face. With playful cunning and the power to steal your essence, she'll outsmart and outmaneuver you before you know what hit you. In today's video, creating a portrait illustration of Ahri from League of Legends. For today's lesson, we'll need some white paper and a pencil. I'm going to start this drawing off with this 0.7mm mechanical pencil with a 2B graphite stick. Let's begin by breaking down the basic shape and proportions of the head before we get into the details. So I want to sketch a line coming down the center of our page. Let's start at the very top in the middle. Just going to lightly work our way down towards the bottom using these short lines. Just pulling the pencil down towards us. Let's move back to the center and draw another line going across from left to right. Now we're going to be using these two lines to help us create a large circle in the center of our page to define the size of the head. So from that center point, let's move up. It's going to mark off the top of our circle right about here. Let's measure this distance from the center down towards the bottom and do the same thing. And then we'll repeat that across this horizontal line. So measuring the distance from the center over towards the left and then over towards the right. Now I'm going to connect the center point of each mark with a curve to create our circle. So let's start with the top left. Just work our way around. And the circle doesn't have to be perfect. We're just using this as a guide. And we'll probably come back and erase out most of it. Let's go out to the side of our circle and draw another line coming all the way down towards the bottom. And then from the bottom of our circle, let's draw another line going across. Now that we have our circle and guidelines, we're going to start blocking in the main facial features. Let's start with the eyes. And leave a gap in the center. Go over toward the left side. Draw a short line going up. Let's take this distance over towards the right and do the same thing. Now from this point along the bottom, it's going to angle the eye going up and out. And then from here, draw a straight line going across the top of the eyelid. From the outside, we're going to step in, curve the bottom of the eye. We're going to come down and just bend that in towards that bottom line. Now from here, we're going to locate the tip of the nose. So right about here, it's going to mark this off with a straight line. Let's draw a small circle going all the way around the tip of the nose. From the bottom of the nose, we're going to step down, draw another line going across the mouth. And then we're going to add some shape to the outside of the head. Let's start from this line. Bend this down and then in towards the jaw. I'm going to curve this in towards the chin. Just bring this down to right about here. We can readjust this later if we need to. Now along this line, we're going to move up and draw a straight angle line across the eyebrow, going up above the eye and then out towards the side. Now let's add some volume and separate the sections of the hair. So we're going to start on the top right of our circle, come down. I'm just going to brush this across the middle of the head, in between the eyes, and then out. Let's pull this back up toward the center of our circle. Come back down across, just on top of the left eye, and then bend that down along the side. Now from the side of the head, we're just going to brush the hair, coming in, and then down towards the bottom of our page. We just offset this a little bit with a curl on the right side. Now let's go back up to the top. We're just going to brush the hair across towards the left, just on the outside of our circle, and then bring that down along the side of the head. Let's add a wave going out, come in, and then bend that out. Let's go up to the top again, draw the right side, going around the head, come down, and then out. Now we're going to go to the side of our circle and draw in the ears. Let's start over on the left. We're going to start with a straight line going up and then out. And we just want to determine the length of the ears on both sides. Let's go back to the left, come straight down. Now we're going to bend the bottom of the ear coming in towards that center line, towards the side. Now we want to go back and add some shape to the mouth. Let's start right in the center. We're just going to bend the mouth going up and out toward the left. Come down, just curl the corner of the mouth going up toward the side. And then do the same thing on the right, going up, across, and then up towards the corner. Let's add the upper lip. We're going to start right in the middle with a little V. Bend the lip going out and then down. Let's draw the lower lip, going back to the left, coming down, and then up. Now with our rough sketch in place, I'm going to go back and lightly clean up our drawing, just erasing some of these guidelines. Now I use this rough sketch as a guide to help us layer on some more detail. And I like to start with the top of the eyelid. Just going to curve that point and come down along the side. Let's add some thickness to the eyelid. I'm just going to brush this out and up. Trace this along the inside. I'm just going to lightly shade in the top of the eyelid, along the lashes. A point along the outside, along the top, down along the bottom. Just going to curl that up and then back down along the inside of the tear duct. Now along the bottom of the eye, the lashes just sit along the outside. So I'm just going to trace the bottom and then just lightly shade in the lashes. Fold along the top of the eyes. I'm going to lightly sketch in the bottom edge of the iris. I'm just going to tuck this in underneath the eyelid. We can always go back and just readjust the placement later. I'm going to go in and start adding some shape and volume to the eyebrows. Starting along the inside with an angled line. And then just brush this out. And just taper out towards the point. Do the same thing on the right. And I'm not going too dark with this. Push this in behind the hair. And then just fade that down toward the side of the nose. Now I move down and start adding some detail and shape to the nose, starting with the middle. Just bending this up and out along the side of the nostrils. And just lightly work our way along the side. Let's move up and separate the hair along the top, across the bangs. Just separating those big chunks that we have into individual pieces going across. Now you want to fill in the right side. So up here, just going to bend this out and then down. And then just blend this in towards the side of the head. Just add a little curl. I'm just going to add a little bit of texture of hair going across from the top. So bend this down. Just going to overlap that ear on the left side. I'm going to add a curve along the top of the ear. So starting on the inside, just going to bend this out and just add a little bit of fur texture. Just pulling this up towards the point. Add that trim along the inside. Add that fur along the outside. I'm going to do one more cleanup before we get into the details and contrast. I'm going to switch to my 0.9mm and start adding some detail and contrast, starting with the eyelids. Just going to darken that up and just brush the eyelashes going out along the top. base of the eyebrows, and then brush this up and then out. Now we're just going to darken up the top edge of the iris. And a light highlight circle on the top left. And then in the center, we're just going to lightly shade in a small circle for the pupil, going in behind that highlight. We'll lightly shade the top of the eye, and then fade that down about halfway. You want to go in behind that highlight. Now I want to darken up the upper lip. We want to make this a little bit darker than the lower lip. So we're going to push this down into the shadow area. And just lightly trace out the lower lip. And we want to add a highlight in the center. So along the bottom, I'm just going to shade this in and just fade that up. And then from the top, shade in the top. Bring that down a little bit lower in the middle and go out towards the side. And we're just going to go back and just blend this in. Now with the hair, we want to start along the tip. We want to darken this up and then fade that up. Help give the hair a little bit of weight. Add a couple loose strands. Now we're going to go up to the top and just enhance that texture, coming across and over toward the left. I'm going to start along this seam, and we'll just brush the hair back. Now I'm going to go back and just lightly add in those markings across the cheeks. So we'll start on the top left. We just want to line this up on the right. Just adding that point, coming in. Just pull one up, going up towards the center of the forehead. Just aiming towards the top. We'll add one more across the bottom, along the jaw. Now I'm going to go back and just lightly shade this in. So we want to go a little bit darker on the outside, and then fade that in. And this will help give the face a little bit of shape. Now I'm going to move to the side edge of my 2mm pencil and start adding some shadows. So we're going to start underneath the eyelid. Now we're just going to pull this down underneath in towards the shadows. So the light's going to come from the top, coming down, so the shadows sit on the opposite side. I'm just going to feather this down along the side of the nose. And the nose will cast a shadow coming down towards the mouth, towards a point. here is going to cast a shadow across the top of the face. I'm just going to darken up the bottom. And I want to cast a shadow from the head across the neck in an angle. So I'm going to darken up the top and then fade that down. I'm just going to pull this over towards the right side. We can go back and just add a little bit more contrast to our shadow areas, starting along the side of the head, and this will help frame in the face. Just going back and layering in a little bit more detail on top. Now, as we get closer to the end, we're just going to tighten up our shadows and details, and always be sure to sign out artwork. And that's pretty much it. That's how we draw Ahri from League of Legends. I hope you enjoyed today's lesson. If you did, please make sure you subscribe because I'm posting new lessons every single day. I want to thank you for watching, and I'll see you again soon.